We desperately need a policy that affects all utilities, investor-owned, municipals, and cooperatives. I go so far as to say we need initially a mandated net metering law, so that contractors can come in and sell these projects and expect a return. I think it would build jobs, so a lot of jobs.
Great. Right. Hello, I am Gina Wolf, an AmeriCorps Energy Corps member with the Iowa Renewable Energy Association. Iowa is known for its agriculture, but we're here to talk to Warren McKenna, manager of the Farmers Electric Cooperative, about a different kind of garden, their community solar garden project. The Farmers Electric Cooperative in Frytown, Iowa is a small organization as electric utilities go, serving just over 500 members. Despite its small size, the co-op has a long tradition of firsts, including being the first rural electric cooperative in the nation. The new community solar garden project is another first, being the first community solar garden project in the state of Iowa. Okay, Warren, solar gardens are a pretty new phenomenon. Community solar projects are underway in other states, California, Colorado, Washington, Florida, and several others, but this is Iowa's first. Could you tell us exactly what a solar garden is?
From our perspective, our solar garden is a place to place solar arrays in a common area for our member customers that want to purchase, that maybe can't have a solar array in their on their house or in their yard due to constraints. That's it. It's an open space where next to our shop where we're going to put solar panels.
Great.
For now. Yeah.
What kind of constraints might prevent some of your members from actually installing their own?
The size
system
of the property, trees, shading, no south-facing roof. Maybe they can't afford to put 10 modules up or 20 modules, and they just want to buy one module at a time.
Okay. And so how can such a small organization as the Farmers Electrical Co-op afford to finance a project like this?
It's not that huge a project to begin with. Some of the costs are allocations from our energy efficiency initiatives, and our customers, of course, are buying into the project, so it's not a huge deal.
Okay. And who is eligible to own a share in the community solar garden project?
Currently, only our customers are eligible to own solar modules.
What would be the advantage to a co-op member to buy into the project rather than purchasing a solar energy system for their own home or farm?
The advantage is a low cost to entry, and the fact that we site it here locally. They have property constraints again. Insurance. We're insuring the modules, doing the maintenance and the install. So they have none of that. They just purchase a module and we take care of the rest.
So it makes it much easier for anyone to actually get into a solar system.
Correct.
Great. And what has been your members' response to the project?
Actually, better than expected. We initially were going to introduce the program at 20 modules, and I was very skeptical that we'd do even 10. And ended up we had about, by the end of the month, we'll probably have 60 modules,
wow.
So which is about over 10% of our membership. So
that's great.
Responded. The initial $250 offer we limited to one module per customer. After that, they can buy into it at a higher price, of course.
Okay, and what prompted you to take on a project like this?
It originated as a project that we submitted an application to the Iowa Power Fund, and it sat there and sat there and sat there, and we discovered we weren't going to get funding, so we discussed it with the board of directors here, and they decided to just do a small trial and to see if there was any customer interest, and we had a lot of customer interest, so then they actually tripled the number of modules that we offered. So
Okay, so you mentioned not getting the funding from the Power Fund. What other kind of challenges have you faced getting this project off the ground?
Just trying to find a price, to set a price where low enough to where, but high enough to give us some kind of payback and also benefit the customer. I think it's the biggest challenge, and because the hardware is there, and some challenge, we tried to do most of it with American-made product or American-assembled product, so that's been a little bit of a challenge.
Great.
Getting the price low enough.
Okay, what are some of the highlights of the project for you?
The customer involvement and the customer feedback. They've stopped in, called, they just, they want a panel, module I should say, pretty bad. And it's amazed me, I guess.
Mm-hmm. And what would you say to people who claim that there's no interest in renewable energy among the public?
There's a lot of interest. I think it needs to get out there. It needs to be affordable. There's a lot of interest in it.
Great. So what advice would you give to others in Iowa who are interested in starting a similar project?
Go for it. I think they'd be surprised at the interest in renewable energy and this particular solar. Call me, I guess. Yeah, we'll help you out if we can help.
Great. Now, Warren, Colorado has a law in place governing the establishment of community solar gardens. What do you think about the possibility of getting a similar law passed in Iowa?
That's a good question. Right now, I don't think it's that favorable for Iowa because of budget problems, and I don't know the particulars of the other legislation around the country, but it just doesn't seem to be a favorable environment in Iowa right now.
And then why do you think that is?
It might be the current administration, it might be budget problems. I don't know.
Okay. A little bit about you. You're on the board of the Iowa Small Wind Energy Trade Association. Could you tell us about that?
The Iowa Small Wind and Solar Trade Association is a group of contractors and mostly business, anybody involved with renewable energy products, manufacturing, throughout Iowa mainly. Some of the manufacturers are outside of Iowa, of course, that want to play a part in building a market here in Iowa.
Great. And how could the Iowa legislature support that? What policies could be enacted to support renewable energy and especially distributed generation?
We desperately need a policy that affects all utilities, investor-owned, municipals, and cooperatives. I go so far as to say we need initially a mandated net metering law so that contractors can come in and sell these projects and expect a return. I think it would build jobs, so a lot of jobs.
Great. So how could the average Iowan get involved with renewable energy?
The average Iowan?
Yes.
Good question. Put it on your home if you have a south-facing roof or a south-facing piece of property. First off, I guess, find out where you can save energy before you put it in. Monitor your energy use, check your daily usage, know what a kilowatt hour is, look at energy efficiency, look at your appliances, and then look at renewable energy.
Okay. And last question, what do you want people to know about you?
That's a good question. That I use renewable energy in my home, and I use about 300 kilowatt hours, and I generate about 300 kilowatt hours a month. So I typically have a credit on my bill most of the time due to solar. So that's why we believe in the technology, because it works.
That's fantastic. Well, that's about all I have for you today, Warren McKenna. Thank you very much for talking with us today. This is Gina Wolf from Iowa Renewable Energy Association signing off.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Now if you want to shoot it over.